DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, I hope you're well. It is Monday afternoon. It's coming up. It's just past 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Had a lot of rain. I've been working all day in my office corner, putting things back because I had taken them out. But wait a minute, I'm supposed to do tags. Today's Monday, yes. So let's get into doing some tags, and today will be no exception. I will start with Jasmine's 5-question tag. Hi there, Jasmine. Hope you're well, and I hope that where you are, it is a bit like where we are now, not quite as hot anymore. Let's start with those questions. Question 1. Something your friend thought was funny, but you did not. That's a hard question, actually. I think, I can think of once when I went skiing with a friend of mine. So that's already many years ago, because I have not been skiing for years now, many years. And my friend was a very good skier, and I am not. So we were going down, and at one point he said, let's try this trail. And I thought, this might be complicated. And it was. And I got down, but it probably was closer to acrobatics than skiing. Anyway, it was certainly not very elegant. So he had found it quite funny. Another time like that, and again, it's with sports. As you can see, I am Mr. Sportsman, of course. We were playing racquetball. Racquetball is a little bit like squash, but with shorter rackets and bigger balls. And that almost sounds indecent. Anyway, I had been practicing like mad, because I had never won a game against him. And this time I thought that I was going to be pretty good, because I had been practicing like mad. And I knew that he had gone off and not practiced at all, and so on. So of course we came and played, and he beat me in the most magnificent manner. And he said to me, have you been practicing lately? It seems your game's off. Of course, he found it really funny, and we got along very well. So his comment was meant as a joke, and it was a joke, and he was laughing. I didn't find it very funny. Actually, today I do, but not then. Okay, that's about as close as I can think of. Question 2. Something you wish you did with your dad. Okay, so my dad has passed on. Something I wished I did. Well, let me see. My dad used to do a lot of mechanics and stuff like that. He was very manual, and when he was a younger man, they lived on a farm, and they did a lot of farm work. But I'm just thinking of one thing that he liked to do was making maple syrup. So sugaring season, you almost have to live in North America, and basically Vermont and Quebec and Ontario, I guess, to know what I'm talking about. That part of the world. And he would do things like that, and I never actually did that really with him at the time. and I would have liked to have done that. That was, there's a lot of bonding in that, because once you start, especially as it was in the old days, you would have to boil the sap until it's syrup. But I mean, once you started, you just work through. And one of the things that was pretty particular for if you were making maple syrup, you'd usually have a drink, while you were doing it. And so if you had a drink, you'd start chatting and so on. So yeah, I think I'd have liked to have done something like that with my dad. Yeah. Question 3. Oh, okay. Do you think you could have been a better kid? Actually, no. I think I was a pretty good kid. I wasn't perfect, that's for sure. But not being perfect actually made me who I am, I guess. I mean, I have done a few things. That's not the question of the tag, so which would have made me a better kid, I suppose. But I think I was a pretty good kid. I was pretty decent. I obeyed most of the time. I respected my parents, my elders, my grandparents, the neighbors, and so on. Most of the time, just about most of the time, all the time. And nobody says, could you have been a perfect kid? So could I have been a better kid? I think I was pretty good. Yeah. Bragging there, aren't I? Yeah. Okay, question 4. What do you notice in a person? Their smile. Their smile, but like their whole, I was going to say their whole face, because the smile is usually not just, not just the mouth. It's the way the eyes wrinkle, or if you're an older person, all the other wrinkles, and just the whole physiognomy, I guess, of the head and everything. But not like if the person is good looking or what. I mean, that doesn't hurt. But what I notice in a person, is their smile, the way they are, I guess, actually, in that respect. Are they a naturally grumpy person that never smiles, or are they a person, that radiates, something with the smile? That's what I notice in a person. And let me see, question 5 and last. Well, I'm doing pretty good time here. The best night out you ever had? Whoa. Now that is not an easy one. Again, the best night out that I've ever had. I've had a lot of good nights out. I think that a few of them were when Mrs. DC over in Ireland. Yes, Ireland, where we were just we'd had a good pub meal with a few drinks, went off to the theater, and saw an Agatha Christie play at the theater, and then came back and stopped off in another pub. This was in Dublin, actually, that evening. Stopped off in another pub and listened to some music, and some people actually danced, and it was yeah. Now, is it the absolute best night? It's up there. There's just quite a few good best nights. And that's it. That'll be it. DC signing off. Thank you, Jasmine. I had to think about these. They look easy, but they aren't, actually. Okay, so take care and have a good week. Bye-bye.